Why does Python any return a bool instead of the value? And inner return the last element they evaluated, but why doesn't Python's built-in function any? I mean, it's pretty easy to implement oneself like this, but I'm still left wondering why. Edit. To add to the answers below, here's an actual quote from that same mailing list of You Mighty Emperor on the issue. Whether to always return true and false or the first veiling, passing element? I played with that too before blogging, and realized that the in case, if the sequence is empty or if all elements fail the test, can never be made to work satisfactory. Picking none feels weird if the argument is an iterable of bools, and picking false feels weird if the argument is an iterable of non-bool objects. Guido van Rossum, homepage, this URL.
This very issue came up on the Python developers mailing list in 2005, when Guido van Rossum proposed adding any and all to Python 2.5. Bill Jansen requested that they be implemented as Raymond Hettinger, who implemented any and all, responded specifically addressing why any and all don't act like an and or. Over time, I've gotten feedback about these and other itertools recipes. No one has objected to the true/false return values in those recipes or in Guido's version. Guido's version matches the normal expectation of any/all being a predicate. Also, it avoids the kind of errors/confusion that people currently experience with Python's unique implementation of an and or. Returning the last element is not evil, it's just weird, unexpected, and non-obvious. Resist the urge to get tricky with this one. The mailing list largely concurred, leaving the implementation as you see it today.
And or can be sensibly defined in a way that they always return one of their operands. However, any and all cannot sensibly be defined always to return a value from their input sequence, specifically they cannot do so when the list is empty. Both any and all currently have a well-defined result in this situation, any returns false and all returns true. You would be forced to sometimes return a Boolean value and sometimes return an item from the sequence, which makes for an unpleasant and surprising interface. Much better to be simple and consistent.
Starting Python 3.8, and the introduction of assignment expressions, PEP 572 column equals operator, we can alternatively explicitly capture a witness of an any expression or a counterexample of an all expression. To quote a couple examples from the PEP description.
I asked the same question on Python Ideas, and was told the reason was that any and all need to return a value when the sequence is empty, and those values must be false and true. This seems like a weak argument to me. The functions can't change now, but I think they would be more useful, and better analogs of the and or operators they generalize, if they return the first true-ish or false-ish value they encountered.
The behavior of and or exists for historical reasons. Before Python had a ternary operation, conditional expression, you used and or if you wanted to use a value on a condition. Any such expression can be rewritten with the conditional expression syntax. Essentially, they are overloaded with two functions, and for compatibility reasons, they haven't been changed. That is not a reason to overload other operations. Any seems like it should tell you whether or not a condition is true for any item, which is a Boolean, so it should return a bool.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.